Hello, Maurice. Welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development for today's terms only. The investment going to talk today will be ETH. This is my second posting as of today. With respect to recording time of 3:15 p.m. on the Eastern Time, Ethereum currently $4,337, up about 1.12% so far. With respect to overall crypto market, it's kind of a mixed bag today, right? With respect to selective coins that are surging more prominently than others. So we'll dive into the technical fronts to see what's going on there. And on the equity side, it seems like the sector rotation, the Santa Claus rally or the window dressing effect in Q4 is in full effect right now with respect to Tesla. We're attempting to test all-time high all over again. Seems like the bull run is definitely very, very prominent. And also on the tech stocks as well, on the high growth, high cap stocks specifically, there are a lot more sector rotation that's being occurred at the moment, so it's driving more buying pressure. So first, I just want to apologize for my attire. It's a little bit, unusual, if you may. I just got ready. I just took a shower and I have my suit next to me. I'm actually going to a dinner tonight for a business meeting. So I'm just getting ready, and I didn't have to. I'm just like allowing my hair to dry a bit, but I do have to head out in 45 minutes or so. So I'm just want to quickly get this out there. I had like a bunch of meetings this morning, so apologies for the delay slightly. I typically post around like 2 p.m., but today has just been one of those days that I just have to catch up on a lot of work. My business partners are traveling, and I actually canceled my team sync earlier today, which is unusual, but because of the overlaps and because of the flight schedules and travel schedules and meetings all kind of coincide with one another, just the right thing to do. But I'll probably catch up with them in a bit. But sorry for going off tangent. Let's just go dive right into the news real quick. So with respect to the news, I would say today is a Monday, so it's a little bit more active than usual, which makes a lot of sense. Yesterday and the day before, which are obviously Halloween weekend, it has been relatively just more of a selling days, right? Because of lack of media affectation, and when that happens, it subsequently drive a lack of buying pressure to sustain the level that we're at. But luckily, we're still above the 60K, and for Ethereum, still above the 4250 level, right? So with respect to the first one on Bazinga 17 minutes ago, talk about Burger King, which is the burger joints that we talked about this morning, to give Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum rewards in partnership with Robinhood. So it seems like this is something that is they in collaboration of to capture the macro commercialization. Frankly, adoption, predominantly in the millennial side of the ecosystem, to capture the growing, or frankly, the exponential growth for crypto assets as a whole. So Burger King is one of those, consumer-friendly franchise in the U.S. that everybody knows, right? I love Burger King. I think their fries are amazing. I love their Whoppers. I think their Whopper Juniors is probably one of my favorite burgers. But I love burgers in general, so who am I to say which one is the best, right? But I do like Burger King as a whole. Robinhood is something that I've used before, so it seems like there's some synergistic affectation around there, and also with respect to this collaboration on rewarding, it's like a double PR strategy on both companies, which it makes a lot of sense. And I think Burger King and Robinhood, both corporate companies, are foreshadowing. I don't think they publicly announced it yet that they are holding some respective cryptocurrencies in their balance sheets. Which if they were to not, how would they be able to give Dogecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum as a proposition for their customer base, right? So it's an obvious sign that they are holding. So that means there's more substantive corporate approval. And Burger King and Robinhood are both companies that are invested by private equity firms, right? So, or investment firms that are in the corporate institutional side of the spectrum. So that's also gives you a little bit more of support on the more of the reputable ecosystem as well, right? So all great news, I would say, and that's to translate into the buying pressure or the lack of volatility on the downward pressure from here, right? And the next one I was talking about with respect to Ethereum NFT. Frenzy cools as OpenSea's monthly volume drops 12%. So this is basically so I wouldn't say it's a cool or like a correction. This is more just more of a normalization, right? It's been running so hot, so it's just about time until we cool off a little bit, right? I think it's a logical thing for NFT Frenzy to cool down, right? Because it's been just relatively overpumped, right, on all fronts, and also the price for Ethereum has translated into that as well, right? A little bit normalization is a healthy thing, and I think however they want to spin it, but it's a good thing for us to do that. But overall, on a macro perspective, is still leaning more of upward pressure. So all good fronts in terms of the bullish momentum. The next one is on Cointelegraph 1 hour ago, talk about Ethereum Schiller calls for 5K Ethereum, and this time derivative data backs them up. So this is a technical analysis that one of the analysts has mentioned that we have a probability that we will reach above all-time high to 5K, which is next logical technical levels. But is that possible? We'll see, right? Because ultimately, Ethereum and Bitcoin are kind of like brothers and sisters in a way. The big brother Bitcoin is going to be leading the drag effort on the overall crypto market, right? And Ethereum will subsequently follows. So, or contingent on any specific news on Ethereum, or if there's any whale manipulations or a large purchase going to be, focusing on Ethereum, that's something we don't have a full clarity on yet. That's possible, but ultimately we're still overbought on all levels, so something we have to be cautious of, right? The next one is on Market Watch 3 hours ago. Talk about almost half of millennials are comfortable investing into cryptocurrencies. This is something that I mean, I am a millennial as well, so I can understand. And crypto is like a new evolution of the financial system. Historically, it's always been gold or paper currencies. So it seems like cryptocurrencies is a new form of financial transactional tools going forward, which is something that we're seeing very prominently in the last 5 years so far, right? I cannot even imagine what will we look like in the next 10 to 20 years, right? I think we are going to see a completely new financial system. I think the banks are going to look very different. I think the way we transact on the commerce and the e-commerce level is going to be very different as well. And I think we're still at the early inning of it. So investing into crypto assets right now is a very smart thing, because if you believe in the long-term buy proposition of the respective assets you're investing in, on a macro perspective, the industry is going to grow. So that would drag the overall specific, micro factors of the respective assets to go up from there, right? So next one is not the most substantive news. It's another, frankly, just a trivial news. Talk about a whale just moved $187 million worth of Ethereum off Binance. So this is not really, a sell or a bot. It's more just an exchange or transfer of one asset to another wallet. So I mean, it's a large amount. 187 million is not like a small amount. So, but relatively speaking, it's still a small piece of the pie in comparison to the large pie that Ethereum has on the total market cap perspective, right? So that's pretty much on the news front, because you can see there's some positive news. I think the main key, stars of news today is really coming from the Burger King Robinhood partnership news, right? So, with respect to the current momentum right now, up about 1.36%. I'm recording a sub 324. The overall equity market is still blowing up like crazy right now, so there's no stopping it. The bull is running full steam ahead, and it's gonna go until basically December by Christmas time, which is very logical. And right now, you can see that we're curving down right now. Still try to sustain the momentum that we are at right now. We're still at the overbought level, 63 out of 70. And with respect to the next level that would ideally leap down to would be obviously the 3845 and then the 3475. But I think, out of all, I think the 3450 is the more substantive level, and then 3150 will be the next level of substantiveness, right? And these are like basically the risk mitigation level for you to dollar cost average at. For Bitcoin right now, we are still at the relatively bearish zone. There's no curvature upward yet. So right now we are at the 56 out of 70, and at the same time we're still curving down. So ideally coming back down to the first level, right, which is, you can see, is the 52, which is not that substantive, but the real substantive level is somewhere around like the 47 to 43. And then if we break 43, it's going to go down all the way to 40, 37. And I think the likelihood in comparisons, I think would be somewhere around like the 44, 43. I think that's a relatively good level because of the large gap that we've formed so far. There isn't any like substantive space or platform that's going to hold or sustain. The current level that we're at right now is because of lack of momentum, that we are, that incentivize whales and public investors to chase in. Right now, it's just being hover and being sustained by public investors to stay above the 61. So that's something to be cautious of, right? Dogecoin right now, we're curving down, so more sell is coming. I think it's very logical. And I think we are, let's see what's the RSI scale with the 54. So 54 is like a neutral level, not too terrible, not too good, not so good either. So I think ideally buy at the somewhere around like the 23 to the 20 cents level would be more logical. Cardano right now is basically sustaining to be above, all around the $2 mark, right? Is either we go down to 187, which we got to during this weekend. Right now is curving down. I think the apex, the negative apex, is basically forming. We had the 38 out of 70, so I think Cardano is not a bad buy right now. But if we break 187, we have a long way to go to basically the next level, to 145. So that's something to be cautious about, right? Because that's a really large gap to fall down to, and I don't want you to lose your money. So be cautious with this proposition. Solana right now, we are still curving up, being sustained by public investors to be above $200. But right now, in the risk-reward ratio perspective, I think the 136 or the 113 would be the much more logical level as we deplete back down, because we're running really hot right now, as we've been talking about. And I think 93 would be the bottom, technically, if we were to go through the whole oscillations from here. XRP right now is basically hovering the ping pong level, the 110 to 101. Right, and I think the setup right now is okay. It's not terrible. It's at 51 out of 70. So if you want to incur some risk, it's fine. But just know that if we break that, you do have a large fall back down to $1. If you break $1, 93 and 88 from here. Polkadot is up about 16.36%. We are forming a golden cross right now, so we're gonna see some more room to run up to. And there is no basically technical resistance level as the next platform, because we are forming a new all-time high. And we're still overbought with the 63 out of 70 right now, so technically there's no room. I think the reason that we've kind of come back from the 49 is because the 50 is a monumental mark, right? So that's like a next non-substantive consolidation level that we're trying to sustain. But right now it's a new territory, so but at the same time we still just formed a cross recently, so I think more room to run up to about 50. As we break that, we should technically surge to about 55, 57, even ideally 60, but I think that could be a technical stretch as the next level, because you could see how difficult it was, right, when we were at the basically around like the 30, and then it took some time for us to get to the 40. But you could see that as we get there, you go that one in one shot, and then kind of consolidate from there, right? So overall, it's still overbought, so definitely be cautious. Algorand right now, we are forming a def cross slowly, so ideally buy at the 160 to 155 again, right? Shiba Inu right now is looks pretty negative, to be honest with you. Is forming a well back with the 72 out of 70. So definitely be cautious, as whatever goes really, really fast comes down just as fast. So this is definitely not the best level to incur risk at the moment. So with respect to the dollar cost average level, I took some time today, and I spent like about 45 minutes today to go through each coins on a technical front to refine a little bit, because I've been getting some requests so far from my viewers on we've been leaping up right now, so we should technically be more refined. And again, the numbers that I put here are round up, so they're not like completely number for number, specifically to the T, right? So I am making a more of a refinement here, but the changes are not that significant. It's just like more of adjustment to to match with our current time frame and our current momentum. But I would say it's like a slight shift among the prices. So ultimately, we're in the business of risk mitigation, right? Because as we go further and we consolidate on a sideways fashion, the RSI is going to deplete, right? So in the perfect world, we're going to be just dragging on a sideways fashion until we deplete the RSI level, and then we will surge up from there, right? So these are levels still stay intact, as we hit below the RSI of below 35, and as we form that preliminary golden cross to have that next surge up. These are the levels that we want a dollar cost average at, right? Again, remember the methodology that we use is that as the price goes up, the risk also simultaneously go up, right? So it's a correlation effect from there. When the price goes down, the risk also go down from there together, right? So definitely want to be mindful of that. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of the week and good Monday as well. It's almost half the day gone already. It's 3:30 already, so I have to get ready to go out soon. But really appreciate you for dropping by and stay tuned for the club. Take care.